There was a time we all retreated back to the police department and locked ourselves into the police department because we were being overrun basically by students.
What can be done to really help students here on campus today?
You don't got your mama looking down your back anymore, huh?
Where we ended up having massive law enforcement responses.
And then I asked him directly, would he send his kid here?
Friends, I'm Maddie. Thank you for joining us in Bandwagon. We are going to be talking with Julius, who has been doing some interviews with police officials and some of his own research to give us some of the facts. It is important to understand all of the facts before giving your own opinions. So can you give us a little bit of information about these situations that have been happening?
Yes, I can. So some of the situations that have been happening in 2023 include sexual assault, trespassing, and all this stuff can be found on the University Police Department crime log.
Can you give us a little bit of information about who you talked to find some of these sources?
So the first person I talked to was Chief of UPD, Jeff Wilcox, and we spoke on what can be done to really help students here on campus today. And that can include some self-defense classes and just being aware of your surroundings when going out.
Absolutely. Yeah, he gave you a lot of really good information, the Chief of Police here in Alfred, just based on not the specifics about the situations that have happened, but what students can do to avoid these, correct?
100%, and here's the video for that.
Just to follow up on that a little bit, what would you suggest to a student going out on the weekends?
What capacity, I guess, would be. I mean, we want them to have the college experience, but we also want them to be safe and enjoy that. But enjoying the college experience is what we're here, and socializing is part of the college experience. So just do it in a safe manner, and if they need assistance, to call us or the village police department. We're here. We provide escorts. If you don't feel safe, you can call us and we'll escort our students back to their dorms.
So, sir, have you seen an uptick in cases since COVID?
Yes, we have. As many of our students were indoors and masked, that they've seemed to have come out of the COVID pandemic and been a little more outward with their behaviors.
How important is student safety to the University Police Department?
Well, it's the utmost importance of our members of the department. We're here 24/7, 365 days a year to provide that safe environment, and we do it by not only patrols but proactive teachings to our students and community of choices to make and not make as far as their safety.
After your interview with Chief Wilcox, you went over to Belmont and spoke with Sheriff Cicirello. Can you tell me about how that went?
That conversation began with the timelines of what he was seeing when he was an Alfred State police officer previously.
Prior to being the sheriff, yes.
Of the Allegany sheriffs, yes. And he mentioned a lot of how the two campuses, Alfred University and Alfred State, had a lot of infighting, especially with some of the sports teams.
It really ramped up in the late 90s where there was some pretty serious issues. And it always seemed to revolve around Alfred University teams and Alfred State College teams. And it was something that spilled over to where we ended up having massive law enforcement responses. We had what we would have termed mini riots, where we had officers being assaulted with bottles. We had people were rocking an ambulance who was there to pick up an injured student. There was a time we all retreated back to the police department and locked ourselves into the police department because we were being overrun basically by students.
All right. And he also went on to mention how some of those sports teams were literally arrested.
Very interesting on the weekends. We always would say you always knew if it was going to be a busy night or not if you pulled up the GJs at 2 o'clock and there was 400 people standing on Mill Street. And I guess that's still kind of the same barometer from what I'm hearing now.
But then you went on to ask him a few questions, yes?
Yeah, directly about what the sheriffs are doing to help students in day-to-day operations and how they're going to be assisted in that.
We did have 2 cases of assault really recently.
Mm-hmm.
And we're kind of curious how or if your department is going to assist.
We've had a request from the village chief, Paul Griffith, to assist when we can with patrols. We do have patrols assigned to assist. So We have deputies that work as special details. They're police officers that we're going to be assigning periodically over the coming weeks.
And then I asked him directly, would he send his kid here after all these incidents?
Let's find out, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Would you suggest sending your kids here to one of the Alfred State colleges, Alfred State or Alfred U?
My daughter graduated from Alfred State last year. We're very excited that she decided to go there. Regardless of what you're seeing in the recent weeks in Alfred, it's not really representative of what Alfred is as a community and as a college and university. It's a very family type atmosphere in Alfred. There's not a ton of students. You get to know your professors. You get to know the people that live around you. I formed relationships over there with residents that I still have today when I worked over there. I love the community, and I still wouldn't hesitate in recommending my kids to go there to school. And I'm proud to say my daughter graduated from Alfred State last year.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, and congratulations.
After your interviews with the chief and the sheriff, what do you as a student think that this influx of violence could be a cause of?
The COVID lockdown.
Just like coming back after being locked away inside and finally getting out to go and be around people again.
Yeah, more social situations, less guided individuals knowing how to act, how to treat women properly, how to conduct yourself in places like GJ's.
Yeah, we're not home anymore. You don't got your mama looking down your back anymore, huh?
No, like we're here, got to be adults, got to look out for each other.
Yeah, we're learning. Got to learn the right way.
Well said.
When we return, we will be discussing more in depth with more students, Kimora and Michael, about why we think that these situations have been occurring more in town and in New York. So stay tuned to hear a more opinion-based discussion based on these situations and why we think they are happening in our little old town of Alfred.
Why are we seeing that increase all of a sudden?
Well, I think you guys made the point that COVID changed a lot of things for a lot of people, and especially with kids that were basically locked down for up to 2 years during the COVID time, and didn't have an opportunity to actually get out and socialize, and this being maybe their first opportunity to do that since then. I think there probably is a very distinct correlation with COVID and what you're seeing.